the chemo, but it's supposed to help your good cells from dying too much.
Right.
So I said, I'm going to be doing this through my treatment. He said, don't tell me.
Oh.
I didn't want to know, don't tell me. He wasn't writing it down in his stats.
Yeah.
I said, otherwise I'm not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that, and that probably kept me alive. And the lowering of the dosage and the white cell blood booster, it might have kept me alive through it. After my port was removed, I stopped doing it because I have not so great veins. They didn't tell you when you get a port and you save your veins that the chemo is killing your veins and shrinking them from the inside out. They don't tell you that.
They don't tell you that. No,
No, they tell you your hair will grow back, but they don't tell you half as much.
No.
They don't tell you your eyelashes might never grow back or your eyebrows might never be full. They don't tell you. But that's the least of it. Who cares? That's aesthetic.
At least you're alive,
right?
is what they think.
Exactly. But they don't, they don't tell, oh, it'll all grow back.
Yeah.
The least of my concerns in my 50s, but, 20-year-olds care.
20-year-olds do care. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, so what I did after chemo was I continued with the high-dose vitamin C into my port till I no longer had a port, and I was juicing.
Yes,
and
juicing.
I would tell you all to spend $100 on a juicer. Get organic vegetables, especially the orange and the greens, and get natural phytonutrients and enzymes into your system. It's so much better than a pill.
Yeah.
And, just think how much time you spend cooking and cleaning pans. Yeah, you have to clean out the juicer, and I get lazy too. Make an extra bottle and throw it in the refrigerator. You'll lose some of the potency, but it's better than nothing.
Right.
Okay, and so you do it every 2 days.
Right.
This is what your kids should be drinking. This is the way they should be getting calcium and magnesium, is through collard greens, not through cow's milk.
Right.
And if you're buying cow's milk and if you're buying eggs, please buy organic. And only buy the juicing stuff organic too, because you don't want to be putting pesticides and antibiotics and genetically modified foods into your system.
Right, all these toxins.
And those are carcinogenic.
Yeah.
So, I'm not going to tell you to take all of these pills. I say get an integrative internist, get a naturopath, but if you can't, at least do the common sense things.
Right.
That's what helped me the most in trying to recover. Chemotherapy damages your brain. It crosses the blood-brain barrier.
Yes.
That's what chemo brain comes from, memory loss. I forgot what my train of thought is, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It also, chemo damages the mitochondria in your cell. Every cell.
Right.
Now think of the mitochondria is the battery in the middle of your cell. That's your energy.
Yeah.
So I haven't had it. I wasn't born with a lot of it to begin with anyway. Some people are born with a lot.
Like me, I have more energy
But
than she does.
I was never high energy anyway,
Yeah,
so now just picture what I'm trying to come back from.
Yeah.
And when your mitochondria is damaged from chemo, and that's exactly what it does, you need to supplement.
Yes.
And I really think that, I'm coming to the point where these 50 bottles of things, and everybody is sending me a new thing to take every day. I'm like, oh, good, another $100 a month. Another thing for me to swallow or reject or not take, or I really think that cutting out the bad lifestyle, and you all know what that is. If you're smoking, stop smoking. If you're drinking Cokes all day, stop doing that. If you're taking sweeteners, synthetic sweeteners, it's a neurotoxin, stop doing that. If you're eating
even mammography, where they go for the mammograms, is bad for them, isn't it, with the radiation? Shouldn't they be doing thermography instead?
Yes, but the biggest thing is the CAT scans that they do. I mean, and chemo is supposed to put me at higher risk for leukemia. Chemo is supposed to put me at higher risk for other cancers.
So there's a lot of ramifications that they don't tell you about at the time when you start to think you're going to be getting better.
Right. Yeah. And you can get, I'm not saying never do chemo. I'm saying that, ask the question I asked, what's the edge that this chemo, gives me for breast cancer? I'll tell you why I'm here. People are saying now, but you're here.
But you're here.
I am not here because of the chemo, in my opinion.
Right.
I'm here in spite of it.
Yeah.
I'm here because there's a double-edged sword here. I had a very aggressive cancer that had what's called a HER2 protein coating on the cell that makes it very aggressive.
Okay.
And the only advancement in cancer have been these targeted treatments.
Right.
Dennis Slamond, an oncologist at UCLA, discovered this HER2 protein that was on cancer cells for breast cancer that was killing people. And he and UCLA created something called Herceptin that kill protein coating. I took Herceptin for 13 months every 3 weeks, infused. So the bad news, the doctor said, was you have this a very aggressive tumor. It's HER2 positive. But the good news is the only advancement, they don't say this, but the only advancement in 50 years of cancer has been that we have Herceptin now.
Okay.
And we can treat it. That's a targeted treatment.
Right.
That's why I'm here.
That's why you're here.
The other reason is I was estrogen and progesterone positive. The tumor was ER/PR positive, and I'm taking a pill every single day of my life, not without side effects, believe me,
Right.
that is blocking those hormones.
Okay.
And so as long as I take this for
Right.
the next 7 years or so, I probably won't metastasize.
Right. Right.
After that, we don't know.
Yes.
Okay?
And you
So-
have a lot in common then with your friend Sally, because her tumor is her problems are very aggressive too.
Her problems are aggressive, and there are no conventional targeted treatments for it.
Okay.
So let's say I have breast cancer and I'm not ER/PR positive,
Right.
and taking tamoxifen and now aromasin
Right.
for it, and I wasn't HER2 positive
Right.
and didn't get the Herceptin and just did the chemo,
Yeah.
I could likely be metastasized and dead.
Oh, you
Because
you
the
did.
chemo was only
Because the
giving
chemo.
me 8 to 10%.
Yes.
Right? It's
Did
the
they-
targeted treatments. There are no targeted treatments for head and neck cancer.
Is there any percentage that she can get from the chemo?
Well, they
target-
told her they're shocked that she hasn't responded at all
Oh.
from the beginning, that she's
Right.
1 in a million,
Right.
especially at her age. They did
Right.
not expect this. I'm sure the oncologists are devastated because they're not bad people. They just don't know.
What a beautiful girl. Such a sad
And
thing.
they say, we're sorry, we don't have anything for you.
Right.
You can take out your whole tongue. We can
Yeah.
imagine that.
And they've already taken out a large part of the tongue. Right.
Not a little less than half of it.
Little
She
less
can
than
still
half?
talk, and she can still,
Oh, God bless her.
but she's got more tumors on it. Now, this is the
Yeah.
fundamental epistemology of
Yeah.
of cancer, conventional cancer treatment, and that what Dr. Brzezinski can do, or what any alternative oncologist is trying to do.
A fundamental epistemology means a way of understanding
A
things.
fundamental philosophy,
Yes.
which is why I didn't want to do chemo.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Yeah, keep going.
Blasting your body, just like throwing a Molotov cocktail in it to kill
Right.
everything, including good cells,
Right.
not knowing what's going
Right.
to happen, is insane. It's primitive. It's absolutely primitive.
Right.
It's drives me crazy.
Yeah.
It didn't work for her. It doesn't work for a lot of head and neck cancers.
Right.
Okay, the paradigm shift, the shift to the common sense way of thinking, and what
Right.
Dr. Brzezinski's doing is he's
Right.
going to take her tumor tissue and look at it. This is what I asked my doctor to do.
Right.
Look at it and see what works on it. And if he uses low dose chemo or radiation, sometimes he does, he'll use it. But he's going to be looking for, is she lacking antineoplastins?
Right.
And then he's going to look at all of her tumor tissue. He's going to look at her current blood cells. He's going to target treatment
Right.
that is humane
Right.
to her specifically,
God.
designer tailored to her.
Yeah.
That's what works.
God bless
Now,
Dr. Brzezinski.
It's $10,000 a week, and
Yeah,
people say,
yeah.
"Oh my God, $10,000 a week for
Right.
8 hours a day for 10."
Right.
One chemo treatment, 3-hour infusion, was billed
Yeah.
to Blue Cross Blue Shield at $25,000.
One chemo treatment,
One
$25,000.
chemo treatment. People have
Wow.
no perspective.
No
that,
perspective of what they
that
get.
the medical system, I cost
Right.
them $1 million.
Yes. Your life is now cost $1 million for you to save in that system, in the traditional system.
Right, if it in
Yeah,
fact saves
if it in
me.
fact saves
I do think the Herceptin and the tamoxifen and the aromasin, the targeted treatments,
Right.
if I could go back and redo it, I would only
Yeah.
do those, and I would not do
Right.
the chemo, but I can't
Right.
go back.
Can't go back.
So I'm trying to recover from the chemo. And
Did you
that's-
have much radiation, by the way?
No radiation.
No
The
radiation.
one lucky
Okay.
thing I had is that I removed both breasts.
Yes.
And so all of the cancer, and both of them were loaded, by the way.
Right.
So if I had done lumpectomies, I'd have been doing them over and over and over again. So I
Okay.
did the right thing doing that. So they're gone.
Yeah.
And there were no positive lymph nodes, so I didn't need radiation,
Okay.
which is another killer,
Yeah,
another
yeah,
horrible thing
another
to
horrible
handle.
thing,
So I
yeah.
didn't need that. Okay,
Right.
Sally's had radiation, chemo,
Right.
nothing's responded.
Right. Well, God bless her. We want to make sure that you have her name now. It's Sally H. when you go to the youcaring.com section of the website. And that should be above here for you to see. And just remember Sally in your prayers too, because this is going to be a major event for her. And we're just grateful to you for listening and taking the time out to hear from Dr. Melissa Lang about this wonderful new treatment from Dr. Brzezinski. We're so grateful that somebody's
It's
come up
not
with
new.
something.
It's
Okay.
been around for a long
new
time.
to us. New
but
to us.
new to you,
New to
yes.
us.
Well, maybe not.
Yes.
A lot
Yeah.
of people have donated on our
Okay.
site and have left comments, which you can leave. Have you heard
Right.
of Dr. Brzezinski? Have you
Right.
heard of Dr. Gerson?
Yes.
And the Gerson treatment she can't do because it's about
Yeah.
eating, and she can't
Yeah.
eat. She can't
She
swallow.
can't eat.
No.
Oh, God bless this poor
Not
girl.
yet.
What a
maybe,
sad thing.
maybe when she's in remission, that will
Yeah.
be something she'll
Yes,
do.
so
that's
young
good
and
for
beautiful. I
herself.
hope that you can all give something, and I hope that you all think about it and pray about it. And God bless you, and come and see us next week. And I will
And
be trying to
listen,
bring Melissa back.
If you
Yes.
absolutely do donate, please mention in the comment that you're coming from the radio station. You can donate
TV.
anonymously.
ITV,
The
yeah.
TV. You
Yeah,
can do it
yeah.
anonymously, your
Yeah.
amount and your name, but just
Sure.
make a note heard about you on the TV,
Yeah.
internet, and so that we know. And
Right.
if you don't like the site, you can send a check to Sally Hollingsed.
That's right.
Here.
I sent a check myself. I gave a check myself. So that's another
And
way
we'll
you can
get
do that.
that
You
to
can
her.
send it right here to Wayne at WPBI TV.
And if you want to hear
yes.
more about this, you want me to come
Yeah.
on more, and you want
Yeah.
to have Sally come on, just
Right.
let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know.
And her name is spelled Sally Hollingsed.
Sally, you can just do Sally space H, or in the
Well, that's
find
if you
a
go to the
fundraiser.
website. But if they were to write a
To
check for
write
her,
a check, it's Hollingsed. It's HOLLINGSED.
SED.
Not Hollingsed, but
Yeah.
Hollingsed.
Okay, very good.
And we will get that into her fund, and we will be ever so grateful. Any donation at all. This is a good way to teach your kids to give too. $5 makes a big
That's
difference.
Right. That's right, especially in somebody's life when you can touch a life
Exactly.
like this. This is a very personal request, so we want to
And
thank
this
you
is a
all.
personal donation. It's
Yeah,
not to
yeah.
an association.
No,
It's to a
no,
young,
it's
beautiful
to a young woman.
young lady who's as beautiful inside as out.
Right.
And we thank you very much in advance
Yeah.
for even if you go there and just make a comment to her,
Yeah.
it will make a difference.
Yes, yes, and you should read what she's written because she's a very personable young lady from everything that I've seen
Oh,
that she's written. Yes,
She is.
yes,
She's so
yes.
sweet, spunky, strong,
Yeah, God
brave,
bless her.
positive. If all of that could save you, she'd be cured.
She'd be cured.
Yeah.
Okay, well, goodbye now. Take
Thank
care.
you, everybody. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
letting me talk. I hope to see you again sometime.
Yeah, she's going to come back and tell us what happened.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.